for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Yes. All right. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. My heart is beating like a rabbit being pleasured orally. I'm really excited tonight.
That kind of thing, huh?
I don't know if they get no oral sex or not, but it seems like out of all the animals, they may be the ones to try it. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist, but enough about him. John Hiatt is here tonight. Now, just say hi, and then let me do about 5 minutes.
Hi.
What to say? I've waited about 20 years to meet John Hiatt. John Hiatt is an idol of mine. It'd be to you he means nothing, Drew, but it'd be the equivalent to you having, let's say, one of your like Bobby Sherman, or one of your idols from your past. For me, John Hiatt is just that. He, for my money, is the best songwriter who's currently still alive, and even better than a lot of guys who have passed away. He has been covered by just about everybody, Bonnie Raitt and Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan, Iggy Pop. In my view, does not get the credit that he deserves as a performer. He's known more as a songwriter, but I think all the songs that he then gets covered, he did a better job with originally, and can't quite figure out why they don't just play his stuff in the first place instead of waiting for Bonnie Raitt to cover it. But nevertheless, he'll be playing at the El Rey Theater tomorrow night. I am going, and I'm just elated to have John Hiatt here.
Gosh, Adam, that's a very nice introduction. I appreciate that.
Well, you've got me through many a troubled time with your melodies. Yes, absolutely. That's why
it takes a prolific songwriter to get him through his many troubled times.
Yeah, I really should. I should take all the money I forked out in therapy over the last 10 years and hand it right over to John's record company. Or
just to me, direct would be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be in charge of divvying it out. So it is a thrill. I've tried to get John on this show on a couple of other occasions. We were like ships in the night.
Yeah.
John, I don't believe, knew the immensity of my love for him.
I'd have been here sooner.
Right, right. But it has been like 2 years of foreplay. Yeah. It has been worth the wait, John.
Well, I just don't want to let you down.
My goal in life, one of the few goals besides having sex with Adrienne Barbeau, is getting people hip to John Hiatt, and I have made many converts over the years.
Well, thank you, Adam.
Forced many a girlfriend to listen to you ad nauseum. I have forced many a neighbor to listen to you. Not really in my house, but
sort of
through the alley kind of thing. I've turned you on to many a friend and many a peer, and after listening to just a little bit of John Hiatt, they all become fans, because John Hiatt is synonymous with quality, and when people hear quality, they latch onto it and run with it. This is something that Drew and I have discussed in art many times, that good will prevail.
Good will prevail.
There's taste, there's demographics, there's age groups, but eventually, if you hear it and it's right, or you see it and it's right, or you taste it and it's right, then it's right.
That's right.
And that will sell.
Absolutely. It's there's your truth, and then there's Drew's truth, and then there's
the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you have it.
Well, it's I'll give you a little example I've mentioned on the air once before, I believe, but it's what I told my mother one day, and this is why I haven't been over for dinner in a while. We were sitting around eating dinner, and I said, Mom, the best written show on TV is definitely The Simpsons. And she said, well, that's your opinion, but I happen to think it's something else, and the neighbor thinks it's something else, and someone at work thinks it's something else, and you can't tell me or them that it's the best. And I said, yeah, I can. It is the best. And she said, no, because it'd be subjective, I believe, which is, to me it is, and to him it is something else. And I said, Mom, look at it this way. There's Monet, and then there's dogs playing poker. Just because you happen to be a big fan of dogs playing poker doesn't make it better. It just makes you an asshole. And she was pissed, but
She didn't like
I
that.
think it's because she knew I was right.
Yeah.
And that's what
Well,
John Hiatt is.
They say that the truth will set you free, but first it'll hurt like hell. So I think that's...
Absolutely. I mean, you may be into John Cougar, you may be into Bryan Adams, you may be into whoever you're into, but John Hiatt is the real McCoy. And all those guys are playing sucking hind tit, if you ask me. All right.
You said 5 minutes. You got it.
Thank you. All right, so what we'll do is we'll take some phone calls. We'll hear some stuff off of Little Head, which is John Hiatt's latest release, and we'll go on through night, and I'm giddy. Emily.
Hi.
Hey, you're 13.
Yeah.
You don't even deserve to talk to John Hiatt. Can you believe her attitude, Drew?
Let her say her piece. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Emily, go right ahead.
I'm dating a 16-year-old, and I haven't told my parents yet, and he thinks I've told them, and I don't know what to do.
How do you think they're going to react when you actually do tell them?
I don't know.
What
I
do you-
think
how
they'll
do you-
be angry.
Sure.
What, at 13, you're in
Eighth
7th,
grade.
8th grade?
Yeah.
And what grade's he in?
Junior.
He's like a junior.
Junior high school.
If he hadn't dropped out, what grade would he be in?
Huh?
He's a junior in high school?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Does it? Yeah.
He dropped out of high school?
No.
He's on academic probation?
I don't know.
He is attending school, as far as you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How'd you guys meet?
Online?
Online.
Online.
Oh, online.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is the danger. It used to be you'd have to actually, burn out in front of the junior high in your El Camino in order to meet chicks, but now you just do it from the comfort and safety of your own bedroom. Drew, what do you think about this? Too big age difference?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think
Yeah.
tell your parents and sort of see what happens. I mean, I think you know that they're not going to react very positively about this, and I think you also know there's a reason for that, right? Emily,
Yeah.
will you turn your radio off, please?
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
All right.
You're right. She doesn't deserve it.
Oh, boy.
But,
I'm sorry, John.
but
Hey, I have a
But Emily-
13-year-old at home.
yeah.
Do you have a
What? No. What would you do?
13-year-old?
Well, is it he or she?
Well, I would hope it's a she.
Yeah. What would you
And
do?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, she's dating a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
That's a huge difference. And
absolutely.
although she doesn't perceive it, here's what we usually tell these folks: is that look, a 16-year-old is dating a 13-year-old. Something's wrong with a 16-year-old.
Well,
And although she only knows it as this bigger-than-life guy coming interested in her and flattering her, she thinks it's wonderful. The fact is, there's something disturbed about the 16-year-old, and she has no way of assessing that because she's not even a peer.
Well, there you go. But here's the thing. 3 years is not a big difference later.
Right.
But
At
it's-
23, it's nothing.
But it's a big difference now.
Absolutely.
Would, Emily, would you date a 10-year-old?
No.
Okay, there
Hey,
we go.
Drew, everybody. Using simple
That was
math
very
to
good,
drive his
Drew.
point home. It's
I
a
like
rarity.
that.
I like that, Drew. All right, see,
I'll make you look good
to
in front
me,
of John. It's okay, Adam.
please don't embarrass me in front of him. How long have I been trying to get John Hiatt on this show, Drew?
I've only known you 2
Since
years.
the day before I came on, right? If you break it into grades, that's when the point is really driven home. 3 years is 3 years, but when you think somebody is in the 8th grade and somebody is, getting ready to head into their senior year of high school,
Yeah.
that is when the point really comes across. Emily,
Yeah.
you can't find a guy who's closer to your own age?
Not really. I don't know.
Well, the fact that your parents are going to be PO'd about
I
this
don't
is...
live with my parents.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Where do you live?
My grandma.
Why don't you live with your parents?
My mom died when I was younger. My dad left when I was younger.
This is why. Do you understand that this 16-year-old, I can't even say the words.
Prey?
Well, no, but the guy's a jerk, okay? He has found a good prey, and he's going in for the kill. She is a perfect victim, and he is a perfect victimizer, I'm sure.
What about telling Grandma, Emily?
My grandma would freak out.
All right, tell your
Good, that's
the
good.
best thing you've got going for you.
That
right
means
there.
she loves you. John would freak out. Drew would freak out.
Well, here's the deal.
You would wake me up, and then I would freak out if I was a parent.
What I would want my daughter to do, my 13-year-old daughter to do, I would hope that she would tell me what's going on. That's all I can hope for as a parent. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know that we could come up with a solution, but I do know that if you don't know what's going on, nothing gets figured out.
Right.
And I know for sure that when I was 13, I didn't have any help from parents, and boy, did I need it.
Right.
Mhm.
But, thank God you didn't, because you'd probably be working at some mail sorting center, and you wouldn't have this big stack
That's my
of
day
CDs
job,
here.
Adam.
See, it takes a little pain to create a great artist.
You've mentioned that many times.
Did I tell you how miserable my childhood was?
Look authoritative.
Thank you. Kim,
Uh-huh.
you're 22.
Yes, I am.
You're on with John Hiatt.
Hey,
Hi.
Kim.
I like your music, too.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, my problem is that I always date alcoholics. Always.
Ah, lovely group.
And so your dad and mom was an alcoholic?
No, that's the thing. My mom died when I was 5, but she was normal up to that point.
Did you have,
my,
is there
huh?
alcoholism in the
there's
grandparents?
no- well, I think there's some alcoholism on her side, but I didn't know her side of the family.
So I wonder if there was some sort of imprinting of her. How old were you when she died?
5.
5. She may have already been manifesting features of an alcoholic, and you having lost that would cause you to really go out and pursue that so diligently and so intensely. So,
Well, I don't know, because my dad was really stable, really responsible. I mean, he was a great father, except he was emotionally distant.
Except
Ah,
for the
just
complete
that
lack
one
of
thing,
empathy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the lack of empathy in the regular beatings. He was a jewel, this guy. He was a regular Bill Cosby.
No, he just worked a lot, and I think that it took him a lot of years to get over my mom's death.
Yeah.
How did she die?
Cancer.
How
Yeah.
is your dad still around?
Yeah,
How old is he?
54.
So we'll just assume that there's some alcoholism or some gene floating around somewhere
No, I
in
would
the
say-
past.
Well,
I mean, why would
Not
you be drawn to
necessarily.
alcoholics?
Well, that's the thing, though. All the callers that call in and say this to you guys, there's always an alcoholic father or somebody's
Right.
missing or whatever. And in my life, I mean, I've had some problems. I have an evil stepmother and whatever, and I was kicked out when I was 16.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
No, there's just the one, but she
makes
gets
the rounds.
But,
Well, I mean, for some reason, you need to go and fix people, and
yeah, that's very true.
yeah, and whether it's because it's less painful than looking at what you need to fix in yourself, or if it's because of some primitive imprint of your mom, and her sort of personality characteristics or biological characteristics that you're looking to reconnect with, whatever it is, it sounds like it's pretty intense.
Well, but here's the thing. You guys always say, to the callers that they have to look inside themselves, and I've been to Al-Anon. I've been to therapy.
Really?
I really work
It's like
on
a singles
myself.
bar to her, Al-Anon. I mean, oh, well, actually.
And
no,
what happened?
Alcoholics Anonymous,
Right.
actually.
What happened? What did you get out of Al-Anon?
I really liked the program. I have the books. I read them now and
But
then.
did you get a
Or more than
sponsor?
now and
Did
then.
you get a sponsor to work the steps though?
Well, I had been in group before that for, I had an eating disorder for 5 years.
See, there is.
But wait a minute. Hold on a second. Why would she have to work the steps in Al-Anon if we can't trace any alcoholism in her family?
She's not AA Al-Anon.
I know, I said it.
codependency recovery. Oh, because she's still codependent.
Yeah, but-
I mean, whether or not you can track it to specifically a codependent.
I thought Al-Anon was for when a family member was dependent
well,
on a substance.
yes, it's probably it grew out of that need.
Or a friend.
But it's also a way of managing codependency. There's CODA too, which is the Codependence Anonymous.
Right.
But Al-Anon is sort of the core group in most communities. And if you actually make the connection with the sponsor and do the steps, it can be quite effective in helping manage and deal with the process that causes someone to behave like this.
I'm sorry. What was your name? Amy?
Kim.
Kim. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict, Kim.
You want
And I know why you're attracted
You want
to us.
to? She wants to take.
Because we're so darn charming. But Al-Anon's a good suggestion.
Let me an uncanny thing about alcoholics and addicts I deal with is that they have an incredible capacity to identify other addicts. It's phenomenal. Even people who have not begun using it, you can see it. I know
Sure.
it. I don't know what you. Nobody's ever given me an adequate explanation of what you're seeing, but it's sort of an instinct you have. And I wonder if Kim has developed that instinct by virtue of mom having been so connected with her and then so traumatically removed from her life.
All right, well, Kim,
Uh-huh.
I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it right now.
Well,
but,
that's not exactly my question.
no, it was.
What exactly is the question?
I want to know how to become interested in another type of guy if this is the type of guy that I've always known.
Well, that is the question.
You got to
It
work.
was the
You got to
question.
work on you. I'm afraid.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
one of the ways to do it is to force yourself to go out with guys you're not so interested in, and see if you can find some sort of connection and develop that. I mean, it may have the same passion and interest. I'm not saying go with somebody you think you should be with. I'm saying find somebody who really you seem to have some sort of interest and commonality.
maybe she
May
needs
not have
a guy's in recovery, so he still has that skydiving, compulsive gambling
she'll
gene.
turn him right back into an addict. I swear to God she will.
Tracy.
Listen, my wife's an addict, alcoholic as well, and you know,
Hello?
Hang on a
wait.
second, Tracy. Go ahead,
Yeah.
John.
Sorry, John.
we really help each other, so it's not a bad idea actually.
So
but she's got to get serious about it.
Or maybe Kim should start drinking and then kick it, and then
there you
meet a
go.
guy, and she can have a
Hit her
great
bottom
relationship.
and get going. Yeah.
Right. Tracy.
Hey,
Hey, you're 18. You're on with the legendary John Hiatt.
Hey Tracy.
God.
The guy.
You like John Hiatt, or you just heard me yapping about him?
Just kissing your ass.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Boy, the kids are getting
That's all right.
smarter and smarter.
Oh, listen, I've been
aren't they?
trained like seals, John.
Art, art, art. Yeah, so I was reading this article,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it had a sentence in it that said that in the human hypothalamus, gay men there's an area of it, and gay men, it's twice as large as heterosexual men.
Yes, there are various correlations, particularly in that region of the brain.
Okay, so what I'm wondering is,
Oh, Drew,
there's a truth to
is that
obviously.
born? Are you born that way, or is that from listening to too much Ethel Merman that it becomes inflamed or something somehow?
We don't. We assume it is a predisposition. But again, as you and I have discussed often, that when it comes to human behavior, it's always a combination of predisposition and environment. Isn't
Right.
it? It's not, even alcoholics, most of them need some inciting influence from the environment in order for the disease to manifest.
Or
for it to
at
be
least
overt.
a liquor store nearby. Tracy?
Yeah.
So what was the rest of your question?
Well,
Sorry.
I was wondering, how could this cause someone to be gay, and have they found this in, like, gay women?
It's not in gay women, and they don't know why it's associated with being gay.
Gay women have enlarged triceps, but I don't believe it's the hypothalamus that's inflamed. Drew, what is the hypothalamus good for on like a guy like myself?
Basically, it's the command and control center of your entire body, frankly.
And yours is only half as
Oh,
big.
boy.
It's a gay man.
Straight and stupid.
So get over it.
It is an extremely complex region of the brain. It's basically the interface between the endocrine and the neurologic system.
And what do they do then? They dissect
That or MRIs. or
gay
something.
men, and they weigh them, or they check the circumference with a micrometer
I
or
haven't read
something?
this stuff in a long time, but it was a small nucleus or something in the hypothalamus. I think it might have been MRI scan, something like that. It was not. I don't think it was dissection so much.
Okay.
I think there's rich Corinthian leather involved. So.
Tracy,
Yeah.
does this pertain to anything?
No, I was just, it really caught my eye. It was just like
Well,
a sentence out of the article,
it
and
was-
I was never heard that before.
Oh,
and-
no,
It
there
was
is
something that was floating around about 5 years ago. It was very popular, or a popular notion.
It's funny. I heard a therapist the other day. I was at work, and a therapist said something to the effect of, we had a patient who was gay, and she was explaining, my mic on? Explaining to her, look, you just have this biology. It's just something that turns on at some point in your life, and absolutely no acknowledgement of there being any environmental influence. And I thought, oh, that's interesting that there are practitioners out there who take the position that it is
Female therapist?
Yeah.
Lesbian. That's all
But
that
you know,
was.
Tracy, we are on, Drew, maybe you could back me up on this or tell me I'm wrong, but we're really just beginning to understand a lot of things about the human brain.
Oh,
We're
yes,
really
yes,
on the, what would you call it, on the
Cusp?
of a real explosion in that area.
Cusp of coming out of prehistory, really. We've been in just the primordium of an understanding of this instrument that we call the
Yeah,
brain.
what an exciting time, you know.
Yeah. Thank God we'll be dead by the time we get up to using 10% of it. I mean, do you think that's going to happen? And do you believe in all that? You use 7% of your brain or whatever
I think that's
minuscule number it is.
I think that's BS.
You figure you use what you got?
You use what you need. That's right. You learn, but you can develop more and you can use more. But that's an instrument it's a perfect instrument.
It is?
And it can be expanded upon, but it's the reasons you're only using certain pieces a certain period of time.
Yeah. See, I think I use even less than the average. I think just watching Chip reruns and eating Funyuns till 4 in the morning has lowered my capacity. But a guy like John Hiatt, here's a guy who uses not only his brain, but the brains of others
I'll tell you.
to create that kind of magic that he does.
I've been known to share a brain cell.
Yes. All right, we're going to go to break. We'll come back. We'll hear something off of Little Head, which is John Hiatt's latest CD. I guess 14th?
My God, I think it is. Yeah.
Does that include the... John Hiatt has a lot of, or at least he's had some other sort of outside projects and stuff like that and collaborations. And also has a Songs of John Hiatt CD out where a lot of the folks I named earlier cover John Hiatt's song. To the best of my knowledge, there's just one of those so far. Is that true?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. Well, we'll hear more from John, more from you, and more from Drew after this.
The voice is...
Hello, that is Dr. Drew. This is Loveline, 1-800-LVE-191, fax number 310-854-4455. Tonight, our guest is the reason I got into radio besides the chicks and the money, John Hiatt, legendary performer and songwriter.
Sorry about the chicks and the money, Adam, but I'm here.
You've delivered.
All right.
John will be found at the El Rey Theater tomorrow night, going on stage. The show starts at 8. There's an opening act.
Yeah, I would say 9-ish.
9-ish.
Ish.
And John I have seen in acoustic settings. Just saw him at McCabe's, which is a very small guitar shop out in Santa Monica, not far from here. Probably holds 45, 50 people.
Roughly.
I saw John, and John opened for someone there, so things were going well for him back then. No. I saw him there just doing a all acoustic set. I've seen him at the Greek. I've seen him at the Wiltern. And if I had a van, I would have seen you in other places around the country.
You're like a deadhead.
Yeah, and I can tell you, John Hiatt writes great songs, makes great CDs, but you have not experienced John Hiatt until you've experienced him in person. Just a great performer, great presence, and a guy who can really belt out a song, and a guy who has something behind his songs. You know, you try to break it down sometimes. Stifle yourself for a second there, Drew. You know, what is it? Is it the lyrics? Is it the voice? Is it the playing of the instrument? But sometimes there's just that certain something, that intangible, that thing that comes from experience, that comes from pain, that comes from tragedy, that comes from wherever it comes from. But John seems to possess that, and comes out through his music.
Well, thank you, Adam. It's a pleasure to be able to do it, I'll tell you that. It's, to be able to do what you love doing is no small feat in this day and age, so I'm grateful.
I'm just thinking, Adam loves publicists. There are probably just dozens of publicists listening to him tonight wax on and sell you. They're going to come to him and expect the same for their band.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine how you're going to react when they swarm around you?
You don't do that. You don't do like this for everybody.
They didn't know he could sell like this.
No,
they've had a taste of it now. They're going to be looking for it.
No, Drew, if you ever seen me wax on this way.
I've heard you complain on like this.
Right. I usually just complain. I'm usually just one big sack of complaints.
Yeah.
But not tonight, because can I call you my friend, John?
I'm proud for you to call me your friend, Adam.
My friend John Hiatt is in studio. We will hear something off of Little Head, which is John's latest CD. This is a song I happen to like off the CD. You got it queued up there, Engineer Mike? It's called Pirate Radio. John Hiatt. Little Head's the name of the CD. Pirate Radio's the name of the song. I brought in my 13 or so John Hiatt CDs.
This is a museum.
Yeah, it really is. And look at those babies, too, Drew. Those babies have been worked. That's not...
They haven't been sitting around on your shelf.
No, it's not like I just ripped the cellophane off of these babies. They have
you look
they've been
into a
used as
razor blade to
posters.
this,
There's some mileage on those babies. All right, let's get back to the phones. Sarah.
Hi.
Hey, you're 29.
I certainly am. I called to speak to your guest, John Hiatt, but first I want to thank you guys for entertaining me for the last 2 years. I've been listening pretty much to Adam since you started on the show. And I just want Drew to know it's not just Adam that thinks John Hiatt is a god. I as well.
Hey, all right. Thank you, Sarah.
Well, you're most
Did you tell my wife that?
Give me her number. I'll call her right up. Drew, John Hiatt, he's a songwriter's songwriter.
That's what Adam tells me.
It's true. It's true.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, that means that people that are songwriters believe that you're a god.
Yeah, I think John is the John Q. Public may not be as aware of him as the industry is.
Sure.
And I think if you cornered any, record guy, well, not record guys, they're vermin, other songwriters, other people in the industry, other legends.
Well, that's what you're saying, songwriter.
Yeah, the Bob Dylans and the Bonnie Raittes are fans of John Hiatt.
This is exactly what I'm saying.
Right, okay.
And this is Bonnie
Adam,
Raitt calling.
You're my comedy god. So.
Right, well, I'm the comedian's comedian.
Yeah,
Well, I
absolutely.
think
Well,
that you
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I actually wanted to ask John Hiatt what he thought is best song or favorite song that he wrote. Or,
Weird.
Sarah, you're reading Adam's mind here.
I'm sorry, Adam.
during the
Adam,
break.
I was going to fax you months ago and say, could you please have John Hiatt on? And then all of a sudden, the next week, you're saying John Hyatt's going to be here.
Really? Well, I've
happens.
been trying for a while. It's just it hasn't. We haven't been able to confirm it yet, and I didn't want to say anything until we could confirm it. But I did find out last week, and
Pretty
I
exciting.
immediately started gushing.
My heart's been all aflutter all day long.
Wow.
I kid you not.
Wow.
'Cause I knew I was going to call in.
Well, the thing. Let me tell her what I think your favorite song is, if you don't mind, John.
I don't know, but Adam knows.
All right, go ahead, Adam.
Well, I was just asking this during the commercial, and the thing that it appeared to me while I was asking it is it sort of depends what kind of state you're in.
Yeah. See, I imagine you connected with that song around the time of that person that dumped you down at the SC sorority.
Oh, learning how to love
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Am I right?
Well, Liz, yeah,
I could tell.
if you just got dumped and it's a Saturday night and you're done with TV and there's nothing but the big Indian head on there, the American flag, and
They don't do that stuff anymore.
you're feeling pretty. Oh, they don't do that? Please, Drew, give me some creative license, would you bastard? Then it's this song, and if you're driving and you just got laid, or you just got a raise, or your wife just had a kid, then it's that song, and it's like different songs for different occasions and
right.
different moods.
We've songs for all occasions. But Sarah, I think I will go on record as saying that "Have a Little Faith in Me" is probably one of my favorites.
Wow.
I think we should hear that tonight too. By the way.
Yeah, put that one on. I think people will recognize it from other places as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's John Hiatt. That's who he is.
Who covered that?
It's not a commercial.
Yeah, so I've been told.
It's like Ronnie Millsap or something.
Joe Cocker, Jewel. Who else has done that song?
And also, I've heard a few John Hiatt songs pop up in a movie soundtrack or two, such as True Lies, the Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis movie. During the scene where they're in the hotel room and Jamie Lee Curtis does her famous strip tease for Schwarzenegger, there's they're Alone in the Dark, I believe, is John Hiatt's song is playing during that.
That was quite a thrill for me. Don't you know? I mean, as you can well imagine.
Yeah, because it was the biggest movie of the year.
Well, just Amy Lee.
And Jamie Lee Curtis's ass and being affiliated with your music.
Like,
yeah.
You know.
All right,
Wow.
Sarah, you done gushing? Should I pick up the ball and gush? Or?
I'm pretty much done gushing, but I do have one more question.
Okay.
Does John have any helpful hints? I'm a fledgling songwriter myself, and does he have any words of wisdom he could depart?
Well, I would definitely recommend just following your muse, and writing what you want to write, not trying to write what you think other people want to hear.
Okay.
The corny thing about being true to yourself, I think really applies here. And trying to get your brain sort of out of the way is something that I struggle with. And that's the part of me that tries to write something I think somebody would like to hear, rather than, writing something because it's got to come out.
Right.
Okay.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Be true to yourself for about 3 years and then start selling out if that ain't putting bread on the table. I think that was the subtext there. I know John didn't want to say it. It's an art.
Well, or you could buy in. I tried selling out. I'm going to buy in now.
Let's sell this one. You want to sell this one, Drew? Lisa?
Yeah?
You're 17?
Yeah.
Just tell us your problem, then we'll go to break.
I have a really good friend who has a crush on me, and I kind of like him too, but he has a really bad drug situation going on. I don't know if I want to deal with that or not.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll go to break, and when we come back, we'll all converge on Lisa's problem.
Why is
I don't think they're aware of how much they...
This is Iggy Pop, and you're listening to Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Iggy Pop. What song did Iggy Pop cover of yours?
Mr. Osterbrook did Something Wild.
Oh, really?
Yes. Did a
All right,
bang-up job, too.
Perfectly Good Guitar?
That's right, and it was on his album Brick by Brick.
Wow. I
And
wish...
he's a fabulous, did a fabulous version. That guy's he's a brilliant, brilliant man.
It's a good song for him. It's a high-energy kind of rock and roll tune. And I wish I'd known about it whenever we had Iggy on. Jeez, it's probably been about a year and maybe more since he knocked me off stage when I brought him out in Minnesota. Iggy's got a lot of energy when he hits the stage.
He goes somewhere else.
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely.
He is in a zone like a prize fighter entering a ring.
Absolutely. I saw him perform in 1971 or 2 down in Nashville at a club, and he was crawling across cut glass and slicing himself up, and oh man,
he's
a wonderful artist, great songwriter. Great performer.
He's somewhere between a ferret and a yogi. He has the concentration of the of a yogi, but the mobility and dexterity of a ferret.
Indeed. And
could just probably crawl right up your pant leg and come out your sleeve. But anyway, interesting guy. And another interesting guy, John Hiatt, is our guest tonight. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191, and we may go 3 hours tonight. Drew, what do you think? We may go 3 hours without Drew. Lisa.
Hey, what's up?
You're 17.
Yeah, I have a really good friend. He's, just a total sweetheart, and I found out recently that he has a big crush on me. But, I could like him back too, and have a relationship with him. But the problem is he's, into drugs quite a bit, and...
What's he doing?
He's doing meth and, ecstasy and all that stuff. And
how old is he?
He's 18, and... He's the sweetest person, but it just hurts me so much to watch him do that to himself. And I don't know if I could handle it. And I don't know if I should, say, dangle a carrot in front of his face. If you stop this, I could have a relationship with you. But I don't. I don't know.
That's not a carrot you're dangling in front of his face, Lisa. But
but I don't want to try and change him and blah, 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 blah. So I'm kind of confused on what to do.
Yet your instinct is to kind of change him, isn't it? Or to assume that by so-called dangling that carrot, you could change him.
Yeah.
He might be able to get it together for a while, but fundamentally he will not have changed, and he will get back to his drug of choice, I promise. So your instincts on this are pretty healthy, I'm afraid. Unless he wants to get better, maybe you can support him in his recovery if he really wants to do that. I think one thing you could do is, rather than saying, if you stop using, I will have a relationship with you, say, I can't stand seeing what you... To let him know how it makes you feel. Let him know what you see. And make him understand that you will not have anything to do with him in his disease, but that you would support him in his recovery.
Exactly, yeah.
How, Lisa?
Yeah?
Do you know that he's interested in you?
Oh, yeah. He tells me, his friends tell me, it's quite obvious. He's not too shy about it. So I care about him so much, and I would love to, maybe see if something could happen, but it's just like, I just don't want to be hurt by this any more than I am,
Jeez, well, women are so much more mature than men. It's so much earlier in age.
I feel like a bitch about it, because I'm just like, you must not, I don't want to tell him what to do.
No, it's not being a bitch. No, it hurts you that he is destroying himself, and you don't want to be in the midst of all this chaos.
And you don't have...
I think you should just tell him that, as Dr. Drew was saying, I think the truth is the best thing here.
Powerful.
It's not about him. It's about all the drugs and stuff that he's messing himself up with.
Yeah. So okay.
Well, give it a try, Lisa.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
And if that doesn't work out, there's always a really boring guy who's sober who you could begin dating.
I know.
Yeah, they're all out there. And women are constantly... Here's my theory, by the way, John, and Drew and I have discussed this. Women are constantly complaining that there's no good guys out there. They're all womanizers, the drug addicts, alcoholics.
Right.
There are plenty of good guys out there who aren't into booze and aren't into abuse. It's just a lot of women aren't attracted to these guys.
Well,
we went to high school with these guys. We work with these guys. You know who these guys are.
Yeah, but we also hear about how much abuse there is in families and how much people go out and try to reenact those abusive relationships. That's what people are trying to do.
Right. Yeah. I should have... my biggest regret in high school was not spreading the rumor that I was an abusive drug addict, so I could have gotten some women.
Right.
I just had to go the jock route.
Also, men confuse nice with clingy and needy.
Right.
It's a different thing.
You're saying the guys are clingy and needy, and I'm confusing that with nice. Yeah.
No, I think he's saying that men think a nice woman is someone who's needy and clingy.
No, I'm saying that most guys, when they complain...
Don't disagree with John,
I'm sorry,
by the
John.
way.
I'm sorry, John.
No, please.
What I was
Offer an
saying
alternative.
The alternative
viewpoint.
is
yes, thank you.
that most guys, when they complain about women not being interested in nice guys, are not understanding that they are needy and clingy, and that's what the women don't.
Right. The guys are showing up with the bow tie, the pomade, and the 40-pound stuffed animal on the first date. And that's what you're talking about, right, Drew?
Yeah.
Alex?
Yes.
You're 25. You're on with John Hiatt.
Hi.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, John. I'm a newcomer to the program again, and I was just wondering how long you've been sober.
Well, first off, let me just say that I don't affiliate myself with any particular program because if I did and I got drunk tomorrow, that wouldn't do that program any good. So I don't go on record.
Insofar as we present yourself in the media.
Exactly.
Okay, I completely understand.
But I've been good. I've been sober 13 years.
Right on.
Day at a time.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, and I was just interested. I mean, it's personal to me because I'm just getting myself sober, and
How long you been?
this is my second day.
All right, brother.
I thank you.
You drank then, I guess, right?
I'm a massive pothead with a taste for beer.
Are you by yourself?
He sounds like the personal ad I put in the weekly. Wait a minute, you're single and white?
I'm currently involved in a relationship.
No. I get the sense that you're by yourself. I mean, you're doing this alone.
Oh, getting into recovery and everything?
Yeah, I mean, your outreach calls to us, I guess, is what I'm responding to.
Oh, well, no. I've been going to meetings, and I've got a therapist and all that stuff, so trying to trudge through.
This kind of call, next time you go to meetings, get 5 phone numbers and continue to make these kinds of calls.
Well, actually, yeah, somebody gave me their card today.
But this call should be the prototype for the calls you make 2-3 times a day for the next couple of weeks, because you need a lot of support as you start out here, all right?
Yeah.
It's good.
Because
It's
I've
good
been
advice.
using about as long as John's been sober.
All right.
Well, we've been sober since this morning, both of us. So we're winning today.
Alex,
What?
good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
And, contrary to popular belief, it hasn't stifled your creativity, has it? I don't want to put words in your mouth,
enhanced it, for goodness sake. It's enhanced every aspect of my life. I mean, gee whiz, I couldn't have...
Adam, now when you stop using that natural herb, your creativity is completely obliterated.
But
it's simple mathematics, I spent too much time procuring and ingesting drugs and alcohol. I didn't have enough time to be creative.
Right.
After a while. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's just a lot of people, especially younger people, think that being a drug addict or being an alcoholic is synonymous with being a artist.
Yeah, there is the tortured artist thing.
Right.
That's appealing.
But
to
John's here to say you can still be tortured and perfectly sober.
I'm here to tell you that I prefer less torture, more being happy, and more creativity.
Leanne?
Yeah.
You're 21.
Yes, I am.
What's happening?
Oh, I was wondering if somebody like my age could learn to love after not being taught it as a kid or growing up and never receiving it.
Isn't there a book on cassette or something like that, Drew? No. All right. Come on. Let's not turn the show into a dirge, for Christ's sake.
It'd be interesting to try to answer this question.
I definitely do. Well, there's tons of people who do it.
To turn it around like this?
Yeah. I mean, most, well, I don't want to say most, but quite a large percentage of this population now certainly comes from homes that were broken, where there's, substance abuse, and there's physical abuse and verbal abuse, and mommy didn't love daddy, and daddy was cheating on mommy, and they go on to start their own families and then get divorced. But then later on they remarry and they really work things out. So the point is it takes some time, but I think it can be done.
What was the quality of the relationship with your parents?
Well, actually, I don't know. I was taken from them before I could remember.
So you were raised in foster homes?
No. The family members adopted me, And then from 13 to 18, I was in state care.
And so nobody ever connected with you? You never had any close relationships?
No. I mean, I've got a sister, and I love her as a sister and stuff, but I mean, like a guy.
Well, start there. I mean, start with, you know how to have a connection with a person. Right?
Yeah.
Right? You know how to trust somebody. You know how to have warm, close, loving feelings for another person. So you can have those for other people. You just need to find ways to create the safe environment and develop the trust and choose people that are worthy of this, and it will probably take care of itself, I suspect.
Okay, and I got another question for you.
Yeah.
Almost a year ago, I went to a doctor, and he found a lump in my breast, and he told me that they can't do the mammograms because I'm too young, and that radiation would cause more damage, but he told me just to sit and watch it grow.
Well, cysts your age are extremely common.
Well, they didn't know what it was. They never did further tests.
I understand. You should get further tests, either an ultrasound and or a mammogram, and or a biopsy.
Well, why not a mammogram for someone who's 21?
They say the radiation.
I don't know. I don't know. No. I don't know what they were telling you, but I don't believe that's accurate. And an ultrasound is another way to assess breast lumps that certainly has virtually no radiation associated with it. And certainly that should be carried out. And or biopsy. But breast cyst, it probably pretty clearly is a cyst. And cyst you don't really do anything with.
Well, let me back you up on this one, Drew. I have studied breast for as long as I can remember.
Yes.
I'm the foremost expert in North America, and I can tell you that everything that Drew says is 100% right, Leanne.
Okay, so, I mean, at my age, I really don't have to worry about cancer and stuff?
You always should follow through on these things, but basically it's a very remote risk.
Breast cancer especially, right? I mean, you don't hear about that hitting...
very.
Hey, it's Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, and John Hiatt tonight. Oh, you all right there, Drew? Thank you for actually leaping into your seat. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Forget about the fax number, and we will be back in 10 seconds. All right, the show is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Our guest tonight is John Hiatt, who's the songwriter, and the singer, and the husband's husband, and the dad's dad. And the clerk's patron. Woo! And I lobbied to get John on the show tonight because I had been a huge fan of his for many, many years.
But not anymore, right?
No, it's all come tumbling down. No, it's John. Somebody said to me today, what if he's an incredible a-hole and just bursts your bubble?
Right. Well, I myself was worried about that. And,
yeah, I know.
And that's what's happened. So, and I feel badly.
You had Drew built up the deity status before you came in. John is not the kind of guest that we would probably book here on Loveline, considering our show basically is on alternative radio stations and aims toward a younger audience. But he's a guy who has something to say.
Hey, I dig the kids.
And you do love the kids. And this is a guy who can rock and roll. Every time I've seen him, he's been able to turn it on when it's time to turn it on, and he's been able to belt out a ballad or two when that time comes too. And I'm going to see him tomorrow night at the El Rey Theater, and we're going to do one more break with John, so let's go to the phones, and we'll hear something. I'd actually like to hear Have a Little Faith in Me, which is a one that's been covered a few times. We talked about it earlier, and if you don't mind, it's a favorite of mine. I'd like to hear that tonight too.
All right.
Steve?
Yeah.
Steve, you're 25.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Right now, a lot. About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a severe depression problem. Actually, that's when I noticed it, and I finally went to the doctor because I was having lots of trouble sleeping, and that's when it came out that the doctor said, I think you've got this depression disorder. And I never really got to get to the root of it and what was causing it because I lost my job, and with it, I lost my insurance, so I had to quit going to the doctor. I was on Prozac for like a month. I had to quit taking that.
All right, Steve, what's the question for us?
Right now, my mom just died 2 months ago today, and that's making things just a lot worse. And
so you had been depressed, your depression was not completely treated, and then you lost somebody important, and you're probably getting very depressed now.
Right. Now, when it was just affecting me, that was one thing, and now it's really starting to affect the people around me, the people I care about.
But that makes sense, right? I mean, if you're in pain and suffering and having changes in how you operate every day and how you treat yourself and other people, it's going to affect everybody.
It's not so much affecting them that, I mean, the people that I know are there to help me and that care about me and love me also are the people that I seem to be treating the nastiest right now, and sometimes I'm to the, almost abusive to them.
Drew? I'm sorry, I was pulling John Hiatt CD during the bulk of this call and didn't hear all of it other than Steve is very depressed and on meds. And Drew, meds. Hold on a second. Let me, hold on 1 second, Steve. Let me yell at Drew for just a second. Drew. Yeah. And don't take this the wrong way,
He was
Steve,
on call.
We want to help everybody.
He was on hold for 2 hours last night, an hour tonight.
All right. I'm just saying, let's not line them up, one after the other. You don't see any way around it? You can just pick another call. All right.
This is the one we got next. Yes.
All right. I'm sorry, John.
No,
sorry you had to see this. It's embarrassing.
This is
like a little lover's quarrel right in front of the guest.
This is live radio.
Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Drew, what is your advice? Or John, by the way.
Well,
you may jump in at any time.
Steve, I've been where you are. I have a depressive disorder, and I take medication for it, and it does wonderful things. I've been on various medications for the last 10 years probably, and I've had to change them 2 or 3 times. And it's a lifelong struggle. It's the guy that diagnosed me was also a recovering alcoholic and an addict, and he said, it's like you got it's like 2 different problems. You got to treat them both. So I believe in modern medicine. I think they've come a long way, and I know exactly what you're saying about, the first thing you do is you start treating the people you love the most, the worst.
Well, let's be fair. If there are people you didn't know who are immediately surrounding you, you'd probably treat them like crap, too. But, it's the people that you come in contact, the people that are in your sights.
That's because they're there.
Right, they're in the crosshairs.
Easy pickings.
Steve?
Yeah.
The deal is
go back and get some help.
Yeah, everybody's been through this in one way, shape, or form. Some more severe than others, some requiring.
Yeah, here's the thing, you obviously know that you don't want to be where you are, or you wouldn't be calling. And that's that's a good thing.
He has a problem with insurance resources, though, which is a common thing today, particularly when it comes to mental health. But virtually every county has some sort of very substantially reduced healthcare delivery system, if not free. And they usually are quite good. They're cumbersome. You have to go wait in lines. Adam, you've been through that system.
Yeah, I went to the Santa Monica lesbian-free clinic.
No. You said you went down to L.A. County one time.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a good idea.
I really made the rounds,
and you can see real quality practitioners, and you may not see them for long, and it may take a lot of hassle to get to them, but they can help at least.
Right. One was for the penis, the other was for the ankle.
Would you be willing to do that, Steve?
I put Steve on hold, but I'll answer for Steve and say yes.
He will.
I
think that's a good solution myself.
Alex.
Yeah?
You're 16. What's going on?
Sure I am. Hi, Drew. Hi, John.
Hi.
Alex.
Before I ask my question, I want to say a few comments to you, Adam.
Yeah.
I found a tape called Jonathan Richman's song, I Was Dancing in a Lesbian Bar.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
It's pretty much a kind of song that's good for you.
Is it a spoof on a...
No, it's just a song that I think you'd like to laugh at.
Oh, okay. Well, send it over. Right. And, hell, send the lesbians that danced while at the bar while you're putting something in the mail.
Okay.
All right, Alex, what's your question?
I'm considering getting my tragus pierced. And I've heard the rumors of, like, if it gets infected, your ear...
Oh, that's it. Drew has to point. I failed biology, so what Drew does is he points at the part that people mention.
Yeah, the little nub.
Well, let's have fun with this. Nostril? No, you want to point it? No, Drew. I'd like you to just point. Nostril, lip.
I think Simon says. What am I doing here?
Sphincter?
Which one?
You have more than one? Really?
You've been running with them 5-ass monkeys on South Park?
Well, here's the deal: when you cross cartilage in the ear, sometimes you can trigger infection or an inflammatory reaction that will start the cartilage to dissolve. And once that process develops, it is extremely difficult to get it to stop, if not impossible.
Right. You end up looking like Ernie Shavers.
Oh.
There's a boxer, the cauliflower ear. It's go with me here. Yeah, Alex, why do you want to do this?
I think it looks nice.
It does?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No, but I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, and I'm not getting excited.
Try to describe what that is. I've pointed at it for you.
Yeah, it's a little, where your ear and your head connect, a little nub, and then they put a tiny hoop through it.
Right.
And it's not very noticeable unless you really look at it.
Right.
And it looks really nice.
So it's sort of like where you would normally pierce your ear, you go up an inch, and you move forward half an inch, and there you have it.
Yeah.
You know, and why there? Just too conventional to do the lobe?
No, I have my lobe pierced,
Oh, I see.
but I just like how it looks right there.
How about instead of getting more earrings, you get a bigger earring?
Oh, I've seen how that looks, and I don't like it.
You know, I'm telling you, they look. My grandma has these green clamp-on ones that are just awesome. And she can't really walk with them on, but she puts them on when she sits down, and then she has a little tote. You know, like you see the pilots going through the airport with these things. They actually leather attaché with the wheels on it.
Right.
So my grandma carries her earrings that way, and then when she sits down, she puts them on. If the phone rings, there's trouble. All right, Alex, you're 16 years old. I don't know. I just kind of think that piercings and tattoos for me sort of fall under the heading of 10 years is going to go by and you might not be so excited about your decision. And, you know, I probably would have done it when I was 16. It's just no one else was doing it. I was too busy following flocks of seagulls. Please, don't embarrass me in front of the great John Hiatt with exploits of the past. I was young, and I was trying to keep up with the Joneses, that's all.
What about the, you say that it is a common thing for it to get infected, right? That would...
I don't know that it's common. It's amazing to me how few complications there are from piercings, frankly. But the fact that it is a risk and your whole damn pinna, the whole ear there, could kind of dissolve or be in real serious trouble.
Yeah, that'd be enough to hold me back, Alex. And that's just me, but...
Well, you need your ear for writing the songs and holding up glasses and stuff.
I wouldn't want to mess up my ears, or any other.
They're a tool of your trade.
Absolutely.
Jim.
Hello?
Jim, you're 34.
Right.
Okay.
You're a funny guy, Adam.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I am 34, and I've been married for 10 years. Hey, am I too old to be on this show?
You're probably 6 months older than I am, and I'm hosting it, so.
There we go. Anyway, I've been married for 10 years, and I have 3 children, all of them under 4 years old. And I find myself now getting crushes on women. Pretty bad crushes.
Mm-hmm.
You mean you have some intent?
Excuse me?
You have some intent?
Is your penis acting with malice, is what Drew wants to know.
Or is it just like President Jimmy Carter, ex-President Jimmy Carter? You just think about lusty thoughts.
Oh, he said that, didn't he? That's right.
Thinking them lusty
famous
thoughts.
Said that,
Oh, really?
Said that in a Playboy interview in 1975.
Yeah.
Oh,
1977.
Geez, while he was in office?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Well, I didn't hear that.
Now he's housing America.
He copped to it.
Jim.
Yes.
So you're having lusty thoughts.
Well, actually, they're not sexual at all. They're just emotional.
Well, that's what I was going to...
I don't respect that at all, Jim. That's where I draw the line.
Sorry, man.
I think something's up in your relationship with your wife. Is she just so preoccupied with the kids that your needs are being left behind?
Well, actually, no, I take care of the kids more.
Because she's overwhelmed and can't?
No, she works a lot.
And you don't work at all?
Well, I work too, but
Yeah.
that's kind of, we have a kind of strange setup here, but no, we have a good relationship, I think.
What do you mean it's a strange setup? What's strange about it?
Well, she kind of works at night a little bit, and I work very early in the morning. I get off early. So
when do you guys see each other?
Weekends, and then a couple of days a week, she works part-time.
Been out on a date with her lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to go out like every other Friday.
By yourselves?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, what do you think? I mean, you think you got married too young or something, and you just don't have it for her emotionally anymore?
No, I do love her. I have all the emotions, but I just find that if a woman is friendly with me or flirts a lot with me, I'll get this crush on her.
Well, I mean, I have a crush on everyone on, primetime TV. I was just pleasuring myself to friends earlier tonight, so it just sort of reminded me of that. But, I mean, that's natural. I got a crush on John Hiatt. Drew's got a crush on me. John loves Ann. I mean, we're one big crush circle here.
What happens, huh?
Yeah, it could be a name of a song, The Crush Circle.
Circle.
I actually do have a song called The Crush.
The Crush, yeah. You put the crush on me.
Remember? Well, saw you do that in Santa Barbara, about 85, 86. So, Jim, maybe you're making more out of these feelings than you should.
Well, sometimes they get pretty painful. That's the thing, and I think that they... get in the way of my relationship with my kids, just because.
Well, how painful can these emotional crushes get?
Well, sometimes it feels like I broke up with a girl. It's really strange. I mean, it's
Yes.
just like it preoccupies my thoughts thinking about them.
Do these women reciprocate? This is just
Yeah, I think
pure
so.
fantasy.
I don't know. Sometimes I won't get one unless the girl does something to make me interested. You know, I can't unless I can get one on someone, you know, on the sidewalk or something. I just
Right.
go with them.
She has to what, clear her throat or signal you somehow?
Well, if they breathe. No,
Right.
Just kidding. Actually, if they flirt a lot with me. Usually.
Well, who's flirting with you, John? I mean, sorry, John. Jim, what?
Ain't nobody flirting with me,
I mean,
brother.
you got to be real good looking, Jim. I'm sizing you up.
Women at work.
Uh-huh.
At school.
Where do you work?
I worked at aerospace industry.
Uh-huh. So you don't live in town.
Look, something is remiss in your relationship with your wife. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know where the emotions, the sort of lack of connection and lack of fulfillment of your needs lie. But there's something wrong. And if you really were involved in your relationship with your wife, you would not be apt to stray unless there was something about your notion of relationships that was dysfunctional. I mean, did your dad cheat all the time, or leave your mom, or?
No, he wasn't alcoholic though.
Yeah.
Just to stay on that.
So perhaps, you know, sustained intimate relationships might be difficult for you. Maybe you have to sort of throw in a little bit of chaos to try to distance yourself from it. That's one of the things that people do. Sometimes when things are good, they can actually be good, and they're too good. You have to actually sabotage it in some way in order to tolerate it.
So I think maybe the next date he takes his wife on should be the therapist's office.
Conceivably.
What do you think about that?
Sounds wonderful.
All right. And yeah, you can't go wrong with that advice. I'm beginning to think that everyone's dad was an alcoholic. I think my dad would have been alcoholic, but I think he was just too lazy. He couldn't get down to the liquor store.
Mine would have been, but he was too busy gambling and eating.
But you know what's funny about gambling? It always, as the years wear on, it becomes sort of an interesting story. Oh, yeah, your grandpa, he lost the house. And then everyone starts laughing. He took the kids' college money, and he lost it in a craps game, and it's sort of, there's something romantic about it.
The people who don't recover from those losses aren't there to tell you about them.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for that sobering thought, Drew. Don.
Good evening, gentlemen.
You're 36. You're on with the now legendary John Hiatt.
Oh, it's a pleasure. John, I wanted to say how much I enjoy your music.
Hey, thank you.
And I've seen you a couple of times here in Los Angeles, but I had occasion to be up in Seattle earlier this week on some business and took in the show up there.
At the Moore Theater.
Yeah. It's a great hall.
It is.
And it just seemed to me that you were even more on there than I've seen you other times. I just wanted to get your impression of what that show was like for you. If it was.
It was a wonderful show. We've been on fire pretty much this whole fall tour. Don, is that your name, Don?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I don't know what's up. Maybe time's running out, and I just.
Don't say that.
I'm just going wild.
No, it was.
I hope you didn't shoot your wad up there, because I'm going tomorrow night.
No way, buddy.
And,
no, it's a great set, a great mix of early stuff, and the new album is great.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the band, the Nashville Queens, we've really come together, and we feel like we're on it.
Well, it looked like you guys were having a great time.
It's glad to hear that you feel that way.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
You bet. Good night.
All right, John, let's talk about your set tomorrow night. Let me, I don't know.
Adam's going to give you a few suggestions.
Okay, go.
Yeah, I'm looking at my multitude of John Hiatt CDs here. First off, I know you haven't played this one in years, but I'd like to hear Secret Life.
You would.
Off of All of a Sudden.
Yeah.
If you could work that in tomorrow night. I'd actually like to play that up on stage with you. I don't know an instrument yet, but the show's not till, 9?
I think we got plenty of time.
All right. Let's see. I'd like to hear... I'd like to hear Learning How to Love You.
Yeah.
If you could do that. Not with the band. Send them off stage.
Okay.
And you just get on the acoustic guitar for that.
All right.
Let's take a look at Slow Turning here. Oh, yeah. Drive South, Tennessee Plates.
You're on.
You're going to do Tennessee Plates or Drive South?
Both of those.
Oh, you will?
Are you kidding?
How about Georgia Ray?
Just because you asked.
Georgia Ray? Right Along. There's a song. Okay. Well, we'll work. I got a list made up, and if you guys, you guys are pros. You could certainly,
allegedly,
you could certainly play what's on the list.
Well,
hey, can I get backstage? I want to get this out. I know this is your last break. I want to get this out while we're on the air, so I have some sort of documentation.
Yes. Let me go on record saying you are invited
to come
to
backstage.
the backstage, and it is quite a scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bet.
There's plates of fat-free snacks.
There's big.
You're gonna go wild.
Big tub of Dijonnaise for dipping. Drew, you should really come with me. Your problem is you don't get out enough.
That's true.
You got that wife waiting for you at home, ready to knit you a new set of nuts every time you walk through the door.
Triplets.
You need to go out and have a good time with me. We'll do the TV show. We got to tape the TV show tomorrow, and then I'm going directly from the studio to see John Hiatt, and I'm going to leave my makeup on because I want to look pretty. Yeah. Once you see me gussied up in my TV clothes.
You're going to try to seduce John, aren't you?
You don't want to
Yeah.
see.
You are going to do it.
I would consider it an honor to feel up John Hiatt, and I would never wash my hand, mouth, or whatever other part I used. I really wouldn't. And
if I was gay, you would probably be my type.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a compliment.
Well, you're a good-looking guy. You kind of got the muscular shoulders.
yeah.
You look like you can take a punch.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, if any guy even looked at you cross-eyed, I'd be all over his ass, John. There's still time for that hypothalamus to inflame, isn't there, Drew? Well, John, I maybe not in this lifetime,
The
but
pineal gland is burgeoning forth as we speak.
yeah, possibly you could just have me up to the farm there in Memphis, and just hang out.
We got a little crossbreeding operation going on down there that you might be interested in.
Yeah, I could fit right into that. I could
bit of gene splicing, huh? Come on down.
I could work in the nursery. All right, John. Oh, jeez, look at John. Look at all these pictures. Oh, okay. John, I don't know what else to say. I guess we'll see you tomorrow night.
Hey, it's been a pleasure to be on, and to all the people calling in, gee whiz. Go out and have a good time, damn it.
And I
I
don't know if there's tickets still available tomorrow night at the El Rey. From the amount of work that it took for me to wrangle a pair, I'm guessing no. There's a few. There's a few. All right. So whether you're into John Hiatt or not, I can guarantee you will be after you see him. This is an experience you owe yourself. It is one of these things. It's like seeing a John Hiatt concert is like taking a bath. It pain in the ass, takes a little longer than a shower, but it feels so good when you're in there touching yourself. All right. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
And I hope now, whenever you blow through town, you will blow through the Loveline studios.
Please, it'd be my pleasure.
And join us. It was a thrill and an honor, and I'll see you tomorrow night backstage.
All right, boss.
Thank you very much. It's out there signing a few CDs. I'll see him tomorrow night. And the phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. All right, let's hear that one. This is probably the slowest song we're ever going to play on Loveline, but a beautiful ballad. And I think John was saying that Jewel covered this one, but I can't quite recall. It's called Have a Little Faith in Me. Have a Little Faith in Me. That is John Hiatt. The song's probably about 10 years old now. Well, maybe more. And you've never heard it on the radio. Because we got to hear Pink Houses by John Cougar for the 1,500th time. The genius of radio and radio programming, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much good stuff that's out there that people will never, ever come across. Thank God the mother station, K-Rock, had the good sense to play a little John Hiatt back in 81 before they figured out what their format was, so that I could catch on to him and then open up a whole new world of listening enjoyment. But it is absolutely unthinkable to me that a guy like that he just doesn't get the airplay. Someone will cover it, and it'll get the airplay. but they don't give it to him himself. Absolutely amazing, or at least out here in L.A. But it's all right. We'll listen to Man-Eater from Hall & Oates, so we can lower the collective IQ further. As if we weren't stupid enough, we got to be dummied up by Man-Eater, which was
People don't understand this heady stuff. You can't give them this.
Yeah, listen. If you gave people this instead of that John Mellencamp crap, they would eat it up just the same way. But the radio guys know more. Philip.
Yes, sir.
You're 15.
Yes, I'm a long-time listener and first-time caller. I know you used to want to hear from people like that.
Right, that was like a year ago.
Right, well, here's why. Speaking of the genius of radio programming, I live in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The station that used to carry your show was in Austin. It was 101X.
Mm-hmm.
About 9 months ago, they canceled it and replaced it with an imitation show called Loveline.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not compare at all. The humor of the guy is nothing compared to your humor, and the expertise of the woman who calls herself a doctor does not compare to Dr. Drew at all.
This is a 15-year-old making this assessment, understanding this assessment.
Yeah.
I don't even think she's an MD, but anyway.
Even at the tender age of 15, you probably are wiser than most of the program directors across this great land of ours.
Possibly. But anyway, what I wanted to say was that...
Radio guys are too stupid for TV. Hold on. Let's just think about this concept for a second. You're too dumb to make it into TV. Think about that.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, I think it had to do with some sort of conglomeration buyout deal. It's a business deal. It's not that they didn't get ratings with our show. It's not that they didn't like our show. It's just it's turning in. Actually, radio's no different than the rest of the world, which is it's just turning into one big company.
Yeah, there are a couple of big companies. It's consolidating.
Right. And when your company then buys out another company, then all the little affiliate stations carry this one, then they got to do that. And who gets hurt in the big picture, Drew? The little guy.
The Philip.
The Phillips of the world, without a voice.
I feel like somebody took a dump in my tub, you know? I don't have the nightly Loveline fix.
I know that pain. Well, maybe if you listen, I've never heard Love Phones, but maybe if you listen long enough, it'll grow on you.
Hey, Mike, engineer Mike, can't they listen to Loveline via the online through KXRQ? Oh, all right. Philip, our engineer is going to come on the air.
God forbid, engineer Mike would share that with the rest of the country.
It's a computer.
I've actually
basically you can get. There's an online site you can get it. You can listen to it from.
I've talked to engineer Mike on AOL.
Oh, you have?
Right, and he told me to go to Portland's radio station, and I tried that, and I got real audio, and it was really slow. I mean, I think it's just my system.
That's just Adam that night.
Yeah, I'd had a Quaalude and a six-pack, and it wasn't up to speed.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was really behind, and it wasn't any good. And I was wondering if y'all could, if somebody could possibly call any radio station in the San Antonio area and see if they carry them, because I think some of them, haven't. I don't know of your solicitation policy, but I don't know if they've even...
Drew and I don't even know what cities we're on in. That's how involved we are with the process. San Antonio is a fairly nice-sized city, and I'm sure somebody is making some effort. Okay, screw that. No one's doing anything. I have no idea, Philip. I feel for you, but if we'll put you on hold, and you can talk to Engineer Mike, and if he can switch his brain from the pornography mode into the helping the youth of America mode instead of helping his own genitalia mode, you can speak to him off the air, and he'll tell you how to find our voices via the home computer. Engineer Mike, you gonna do that? Yeah, he's doing it now. Gloria.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 19, you're on Loveline.
Hey, Adam, Drew, it's so cool being on. Happy holidays to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I'm trying to get into the Army Reserves, and in order to get in, I have to pass the ASVAB, which is the aptitude test, and...
I think I'm behind an ASVAB test for all women.
ASVAB.
Where? ASVAB?
Yeah.
Okay, and
a full physical, which includes a pelvic exam. And my problem is that my recruiter is picking me up tomorrow, and we're going to go and take care of the tests. But I started my period tonight, and so I was wondering if it was possible for a doctor to do a pelvic exam on.
Can't they?
You can, but he or she may elect to postpone it or do it at a different time.
I know if it was up to me or she, I would elect to just go ahead and wait out the storm, as they say.
It's not that big a deal, right?
Although, I'll tell you, I don't want to alarm you, Gloria, but in the military, they don't have doctors. This procedure is done by a drill instructor. And he comes out there, it's a large black man with a shaved head, and he says, you love your vagina, don't you?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But, also I've never had a pelvic exam done before, so I wanted to know if you have any advice. Just relaxing.
They give you a spoon to bite on, don't they?
Just relax. Understand it's a normal part of health screening. You're going to have to get used to it and do it every year. It's like going to the dentist or any other unpleasant healthcare activity. It's just another one.
I've always thought, this is what I do to relax. I talk to the doctor.
I was going to say,
yeah. When
getting that individual to tell you what they're doing, what they're going to do, what to expect, and to
just
talk you through it.
It goes by faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll concentrate on what
talk
she's
you through
doing.
it. Maybe a he.
What kind of chat? Just how about them clippers? I mean, what kind of talk do you get into?
Start a story. They know it's going to take a long time to tell. They'll start to concentrate. They'll talk, they say, "Excuse me, but I'm going to,
You mean like when you're probing around the rectum?
Either drawing blood or those sorts of exams or pelvic exams. People sometimes launch into these stories as a way of distracting themselves.
Does it? But do they ever alter it? Like they're going. When I was 9, I went fishing with my grandfather, and we were out doing some freshwater fishing, and anyway, my grandfather went and put his finger in my ass. Did they ever they ever do that?
Often that change of tone and inflection, but the content doesn't change quite so dramatically.
I see. So it's like, my grandfather went back to the tackle box and got a.
It's not that long of a procedure. It's over very quickly.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, maybe I should describe what it is, just so people understand.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
What a doctor will do, will take a speculum, which is like a. How would you describe it?
It's like a mallard duck beak.
A duck bill, yeah, that opens up at the end. So
it looks like something you would use to scoop ice cream. It's like in Blade Runner. It's what the ice cream shop would have.
Okay. And it goes into the vagina and opens, and you have to sort of push down to get the cervix to pop into view, and so there's some pushing and shoving associated with that.
That's true. Don't say shoving.
No, because women wonder what.
Say mild pressure.
Okay, mild pressure. That can sometimes.
It's not mild, by the way.
Yeah, can sometimes feel uncomfortable at that point. Then typically a stick and a brush. A brush is actually put into the cervix, the hole in the middle of the cervix, the cervical mouth or os, to try to scrape some cells for the lining. The junction between the cervix and the uterus, and the stick is used to scrape the outside of the cervix, and then those things are looked at under a Pap Nicolau stain. The doctor will then remove the speculum and then put their hands inside, one hand inside and one hand on top, to try to feel the uterus, feel the ovaries, to make sure there's no abnormal growth.
One hand
on the cervix and one hand on top.
Like a quarterback getting under center?
Exactly.
Did they do that thing where they take that towel and flip it over the belly and then start audibilizing?
There is a towel there. It has to be flipped up.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah.
Geez, I swear, if I ever flipped that towel and put my hands together in that way and started to crouch down a little bit, I would just immediately start barking out signals. Red 22! And then I do that thing where I lift one foot a little bit so I can send the nurse in motion. All right. Oh, boy. Am I the only one who thinks I'm funny?
Is it time for a break? We already have that.
Yeah, I think it is. Cruise into that video.
Prodigy. I am into how much of a parody that song is and how seriously everyone's taking it.
Yeah.
That to me is, again, the ignorance and the foolishness of our public, or at least of the people in charge, that they don't look a little bit harder at the stuff they're examining.
Well, it seems what we do as a society is we ignore a lot of the day-to-day and real-life ills of society, and then some singer comes out with a song or some rap act comes out with a record, and then we all jump on that. It's almost it's almost like compensation for not really doing anything
about
before.
the real thing.
Right. Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 19. You're on Loveline.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been on hold for 115 minutes. And, Drew, you have to get your chair out from under the table. Please.
What does it do?
I beg you. What do you mean? It's like Knott's Berry Farm's haunted shack in here every time you lean back. Sorry, Karen. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
The table lifts, he's saying.
Yeah. I don't... Okay. How to say it as a question. I'm perpetually unhappy. I know you guys are, like, tired of hearing the unhappy thing.
No, we're not tired of saying that. I am frustrated with the lack of access or lack of... what's the word I'm looking for? People don't take advantage of the resources out there to manage this problem. You heard John Hiatt a half hour ago talk about modern medicine and how he's been on medication for many years and how it's changed his life. And if somebody with a chronic recalcitrant depression is miserable and it's affecting their ability to function in life, particularly a young person who's otherwise healthy...
I always hear the thing about the real happy people are like the ones that are crazy.
Well, you want to look into getting help for your
You only
chronic
see those
unhappiness.
people when they're happy. They have violent swings, believe me. You know what? If you could sort of substitute the word happy for contentment or inner peace, that is a much loftier but more ambitious goal. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, when you think in terms of, well, how can I make myself happy? You think, well, how can I get a new hairdo or a new boyfriend or a new car? Ultimately, you give that to anybody who's unhappy, and it's just a temporary fix. I mean, it's just a Band-Aid. Ultimately, if you're doing what you want to do, if you're having the kind of relationships you want to have, if you're treating people the way you want to treat them or they deserve to be treated, then there's some contentment, and from that comes happiness. Would you say?
Yeah.
I know it's painful for you to agree with me, Drew. Listen, when I was 19, I wasn't happy. Drew, were you happy at 19?
Absolutely not.
No. And you know why you're not happy at 19, theoretically? It's because you're not where you want to be. It's not where you want to be professionally, you know, like from a career standpoint. It's not where you want to be emotionally.
With your relationships.
With your relationships, perhaps current relationships, perhaps relationships from the past.
Physically, you're just trying to grow into a body that's new.
Right. And that
Go into my body.
Well, I mean, you've just gone through puberty, and you're still changing physically a lot, and your brain is changing. It's under the influence of a lot of hormones now that change its biological state.
But what I'm saying is that's good because that then creates some change. I mean, I was 19, and thank God I was miserable because I was cleaning carpets or digging ditches. It depends what month you caught me in. And it made me miserable and made me want to start pursuing things I wanted to pursue so that I could feel better. If I was happy at 19, I'd then be digging ditches at 33. And Drew'd be leeching off his parents and living in some college town as a frat mascot. I don't know what you did at 19, Drew. But, Karen, don't walk around and think that everyone's happy and you're not. Believe me.
But if you really are chronically disturbed, miserable, take advantage of treatment. It's out there.
Yeah, stuff that didn't seem to be around when we were miserable. Oh, boy. Here's a name. Tova?
Yep, that's me.
From Fiddler on the Roof?
I think my parents were...
Tova...
Wait a minute, that was...
he was the actor, wasn't it?
It wasn't Tova, though.
It wasn't? If I was a rich man... Oh, yeah, Ernest Borgnine's wife.
Tevye, but the actor's name was like Tova, something like that. Topol, there you go.
Topol?
Yeah.
Topol.
Really? Well, he's got a lawsuit. All right, Topol. What's going on? You're 25.
Well, I just got back from a 3-week visit with my mom.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find. Catch me a catch. Is that from Fiddler?
Yeah, but he doesn't sing that.
Oh.
And I've
Little boy.
come to realize every time I get back from a visit from my mom's, I have two reoccurring dreams. The first one is I've got like this huge wad of bubble gum in my mouth, and I cannot get it out, and like my teeth are falling and getting caught in this gum, and I'm just like crunching on my teeth as my teeth are falling out of this bubble gum.
At least you're not being beaten with your own genitalia like
My
I have.
experience with those kinds of dreams are usually because you're grinding your teeth at night.
Okay.
So something's making you grind your teeth.
Well, yeah, my
So your mom make you uptight?
very.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our visit, it was a 3-week visit, and it was like everything about me she just totally picked apart.
Right.
And I have a 2-year-old daughter, and she was constantly telling me there's something wrong with my daughter. My daughter's too hyper. Normal kids don't act this way.
All right, so your mom is overbearing and critical.
Intrusive.
Yeah, you know, and it's like telling me that that since I gained a lot of weight with my daughter, and I haven't lost all of it. I have like 15 pounds to go, but I was underweight when I got pregnant.
Right.
And I'm content with myself. And she's, you know, she like had a dinner party, and she literally took the dessert away from me.
What was the other dream?
The other dream is I'm a really small child, and the room is like spinning, and I'm just like being shaken.
Yeah, I mean, so this, yeah, I mean, just a sort of superficial interpretation is, mom is intrusive, annihilating, and really never supported you as a young child to develop out of the young child position. And she tried to annihilate any genuine feelings of self that you developed.
Jamie?
Yeah.
I'm getting to you very quickly. You're the last call of the night. You're 20. What is your question?
Yeah, I just wanted you to recommend a John Hiatt favorite or best album.
It's tough because I love them all. I would, if you're in a sort of rock and roll mood, I would go with one called Perfectly Good Guitar, which came out a couple of years ago. The older stuff would be Bring the Family, Slow Turnin'.
He just wants ACD that he can get started with. Tell him
okay.
one. Pick one for him.
I would go with, I'd go Slow Turnin'.
Slow Turning.
Yeah, or Bring the Family, or
Pick one for him.
All right, Bring the Family. All right, but you got to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? John Hiatt's not one of these guys you put on and you start banging your head immediately and go, oh my God, I got to hear that.
He's like Van Morrison. You listen to him all the way through.
Right, you listen to him, you listen to the lyrics, you listen to what's behind it, and I'll tell you, when you're driving at night and you put in that John Hiatt tape or CD, it is just, there's something almost haunting about it. I'm glad if I could in any way enlighten the Loveline listeners to the brilliance that is John Hiatt, and I appreciate you asking, Jamie.
Well, thank you. I love you guys, and I'd vote for your government and your weed without seed.
Thank you. I'll make you the Minister of Propaganda, and we'll be back.
That you could do as a kindergartner.
Right. All right. We'll finish this conversation in a second. I want to thank the beautiful Lisa and the lovely Sherry for being so respectful tonight to the great John Hiatt. I want to thank the fabulous Ann, who really, if she had a second hymen, it would have broke, trying to get John Hiatt on this show. She, countless phone calls, countless faxes, and she finally made it happen. And for that, I'll ever be indebted. Or at least until you can't get the next person I want on, and then I'll be pissed off. So I want to thank the Angular One producer, Ann, for all that. And, of course, the freshly cut One Nut Wonder, Engineer Mike, for doing a marvelous job as usual. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed herein are certainly opinions, that's for sure. If you'd like a written transcript